Well, it's the day after the New Hampshire elections, the primaries, and no real surprises. Trump won, Bernie won. Bernie killed Hillary. He killed him. And Trump did the double take on the rest of the Republican field. Rubio, of course, fell on his face after his robo debacle, and Cruz hung in there okay. Bush is kind of hanging in there, but after all the millions and millions he spent, he should be doing better than that. And Kasich did pretty well, and we'll see how he does going forward. Hillary, I think, has got a problem. Either way, I think that everybody is looking at this incorrectly. I mean, people in the media are finally starting to come around to our position about how different this is and how things are changing, which is, we were talking, it's been our consistent theme for the last 6 months. And now we're in a situation where you have to determine what type of a lens to look at this political season through. And I think the best way is to not be rational. Don't be rational. We've understood rationality in politics as being pretty much the same old for the last 50 years, 60 years maybe. It was like, hey, no real changes, nothing. If you knew the right people, you had the right amount of money, you could advertise, you could look good on TV. It started with President Kennedy, JFK looking great on TV, and then moving forward from there, there just hasn't been much of anything really since after 1968, where we had the big explosion with Eugene McCarthy knocking out LBJ, not winning, but getting kind of close for those days. And now we're in a situation where that turned into, well, you got money, you got ads, you know the right people, you get in line, you cruise around, you kiss, you shake hands, you do it for 2 or 3 years, and you'll get your nomination. And that's how people all looked at it. That's why people are so angry now. But that's what rationality was. So you start walking into this election, and you go, well, it's only rational that Hillary would win. Why? Because she's the heir to President Obama. She's been everything. A senator, Secretary of State, First Lady, just forget being a lawyer and being on the Watergate. She's just had such an incredible life. And yet she's always had issues about not being, let's say, totally upfront on the way people would want you to be. Whereas you got Bernie Sanders walking in, who has some ideas which are really kind of way out there. Whether they would work or not isn't the issue. We're going to do that later. And he's cooking because he's just telling it like it is and telling it like he thinks he is. As you know, in our prior video, we said he really kind of blew it with the bankruptcy code issue. But basically, he's telling it like it is and just going for it. And Trump's the same way. You got Trump telling it like it is. You got Bush trying to whack on Trump. It's going to be interesting to see how the middle of the pack works out to be able to take on Trump. But as we've been thinking, it looks like this is going to go right to both conventions. And it's because what's rational? Rational would have been in Republican circles, Jeb Bush winning. He had 150 million in ads and in his super PAC, pumping cash. He still have like 50 or 60 million. Where is he? He's still hanging back. He doesn't have bad ideas. He's moderate. He's kind of middle of the road to the right Republican. Forget his name. He's kind of there, and he's getting handled. And the rational mind would say, he's going to win. He's going to win. Rationality is out the window. Take that word, gone, gone. It's now a new rational, where people want authenticity, where people want it straight, where people have had it, where people are populist, where people are nativists, and it doesn't matter if you're left or right, you're feeling the same thing. The system has let me down, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to shake the tree to get something new in there, even if it bites me in the backside down the road. And that's the new rational. So throw rationality out the window. Throw it out the window and start wrapping your mind around this new paradigm. It's here. It's here. It's becoming more and more obvious. It doesn't matter how it ends up at the end of this election. It's here. Peace.